I hope that everybody's having a good day. I'm going to give another quick update on my living arrangements, and I've decided what my intentions were. I decided yesterday, but I wanted to sleep on it overnight before I actually published a definite video on it. All I can say is yesterday I said in my heart that this other place that I'm looking at is outside of, the area of Georgia that I'm in now. I said yesterday when I was walking around a Home Depot store, I said, if I don't have a contract in my hand on this other property within 7 days, I'm going to Kansas. And Caney, Kansas was originally, the first city, but I've got it nailed down what part of Kansas I will be going to. And the answer to that question is Independence, Kansas. And a week from yesterday will be July 4th, 2019. And it is ironic that the first time I went to Oklahoma back in 2008 just happened to work out to be on a federal holiday that I drove to Bartlesville, Oklahoma back in 2008. And next Thursday will be July the 4th, 2019. And looking at the market out there, just to let everybody know what I've seen, I can get a real nice house in Independence, Kansas. It might not be built in 2019, it may be built in anywhere from the 50s, all the way up, to the 60s, and some of them older than that, but I can find a decent place to live in that area from about $15,000 all the way up to about $50,000, if I wanted to. And if I want a real ritzy house, you can go on up to $100,000, but there ain't no need to spend that kind of money on something. And I'm just making it clear that if I don't have a contract on this other property in my hand within 6 days, which will be July the 4th, I'm driving to Independence, Kansas, and I'm just tired of everybody that won't work with me. And the realtor I got now said that I would be going to her office to get a contract on this other place yesterday. Well, it didn't happen. And I knew that there was a death in the family, but it don't take but a few minutes to go to somebody's office to do a real estate contract. And they didn't call me back. I haven't heard anything back, and that was supposed to be yesterday, and it's getting on up on 10 o'clock in the morning, on the next day. And I've heard nothing, and quite frankly, I'm ready to get the ball rolling. And I fixed up, a dumpy house before, and I spent the last 3 days because out in the, the Independence, Kansas, Bartlesville area, the closest Home Depot I know of to there is in Owasso, Oklahoma. And Bartlesville has a Lowe's, but there's no big place like that in Caney. And Independence is a little bit bigger place. Independence, Kansas is where they build all the Cessna, small general aviation airplanes. And I've been to Independence before quite a few times, and So if I don't have a contract in my hand within 6 days, I'm going to Independence, Kansas, y'all, and I'm going to just buy a place right out there and just fix the place up, and I'm going to be done with them, and I'm going to put it in writing that all these Georgia people, I'm not going to haggle with them anymore. And if I find a place in Georgia, you know, they're probably going to control me and not let me fix it up like I would want to fix it up. And, you know, it's going to be fixed up to their likings and not mine. And, you know, they're not going to be the ones living in it. You know, I'm going to be the one that's living in it. And I feel if I'm going to be the one living in it, that I should be able to do the renovation like you know, I want to do it, and, you know, paint what color I want to paint, and you know, if I want to add on an extra bedroom, I ought to be able to add on an extra bedroom, and, you know, not be controlled and told, no, you can't, and then asked a million questions, why do you want to do this, and why do you want to do this upgrade, and that upgrade, and like, well, and then they would like say, well, why do you want these kind of windows in your house, and or why do you want this piece of furniture, or you know, like when the floors were in, you know, bad shape. And you know, I got grilled the other day, you know, on this property I'm looking at now, you know, as like, well, yeah, that subfloor, you don't want to cover that up, and you know, telling me that I couldn't put in, you know, a new subfloor, you know, if I wind up getting a place, basically, you know, telling me I couldn't put in another subfloor because it wasn't, you know, to my folks' likings or, you know, anybody else's likings, and you know, the place needs to be rewired, so, or, you know, new electrical work, so, you know, basically the realtor said it's going to be a month before we can even get a licensed electrician to even start on it, and it would be probably September before you could even think about moving in, and y'all, I think it may be time for me to pack the truck, and I've been going around during the day without people knowing about it. I bought a bunch of mist-tinted paint, I bought a bunch of nails, and a bunch of hardware, and stuff to fix windows with, stuff to fix walls with, a whole bunch of caulking guns, you know, button cap nails for, you know, insulation. I've been looking at prices because a lot of the stuff that I need to fix a house, I'm going to buy it here and just take it out there when I initially drive out to Kansas, so I don't have to be driving, you know, 80 miles round trip to go to a Home Depot out there. You know, as soon as I find a place for about 19 to 15,000, you know, I'm basically gonna have a title search, gonna have an inspection, and then I'm gonna have a licensed electrician just come in if it's one of those places from the 40s or the 50s, you know, with the old knob and tie, you know, electrical or whatever it is, fuse panel. I'm just going to have a certified licensed electrician come in and wire the place to code, and then I'm going to have a plumber just come in and plumb the place to code, and then I know that those two things are new and, you know, have been updated. And, you know, buy the house, have those two things done, and not have to answer a million questions, and not have to deal with people that won't work with me, and, you know, things like that. And you know, I probably have most of the stuff that they use out in that area is window units out in that part of the country, and y'all probably get me a couple of new window units and put them in. It's not hard to do, and that's what I'm thinking about doing. About, my nowhere housing situation is getting in the truck and driving to Kansas, to going to Independence, Kansas for the 4th of July 2019. And I'm not joking either. I've about had enough of this, and I'm just not happy with the way things are going, and thought I would give everybody some more details now that I've decided what the ultimatum's going to be and where I'm going to be going now 6 days from now if they don't have a contract in my hand. Thought I would let you know. Hope everybody has a blessed day. And hopefully within 10 days from now we can be fixing up a house possibly out in Kansas and not walking around the graveyard anymore. And yeah, I saw one house that I could have gotten as low as $4,000. In Independence, I seen one, and there's a bunch of them between 15 to 20. I mean, a bunch of them. And that may be my better option. I pray to God everybody else has a better day and don't go through this.